Welcome, episode 6, finally.
We are back. Out of lockdown to an extent.
Yes. Oh, well, we are enjoying Freedom Day or whatever it was.
But it's good to be back in person. We
It
did
is.
a couple of remote episodes, but they were good, but they just didn't have the right vibe.
Yeah. You know what it felt like to me?
What's that?
Like a meeting.
Yeah.
Because that's all that's all we've been doing. I mean, especially you're
Yeah.
like living on it, aren't you, at the moment?
Yep, absolutely. Providing strategic direction to businesses. But no, it's good. It's good to see you, Stephen. We're trying a couple of new things now with a couple of different camera angles, a bit of a different format.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, and we're doing things more specifically as well. And one of the things that me and Dennis both love, and that is movies and TV shows, streaming services. All of it, we got all of them. So whatever shows that we actually really enjoy. Just to give you an example on the format that we're going to go, we're just going through a few categories. Whether it's plot, casting, living up to the hype, the Easter eggs, correlation, all that sort of thing. Then at the end, we're going to basically give it a score out of how many times we've picked up our phone during the TV show or the episode or the movie.
Love it.
So basically, obviously, the higher the amount of times we pick up the phone, the crapper we thought it was. And if we ever get to that magic 0 number, that means it's basically like a golden buzzer.
Oh, the golden buzzer.
Golden buzzer movie.
What's that
or
off
TV.
American
Got Talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to give you something,
Well, thank
which is a clap, because you suggested this different format, and I said, you know what, we've got nothing to lose because we don't have a whole lot of followers or a whole lot of views.
you. That's right. So there's no expectations left.
No, that way you can't be disappointed.
So that's why I'm like, you know what, especially, and Sopranos is a big. I know you're a huge fan of Sopranos, and when that movie came out, again, what was it called?
The movie, The Many Saints of Newark.
Yeah. So when that came out, I thought, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's dive deep into how, because I did keep asking you questions about it, as in who's that character, because I've only seen The Sopranos once, the whole series.
Right.
And it was a long time ago. So, when I watched the movie, obviously I was experiencing it a bit differently to you as a huge fan. So, I'll ask you questions. And one of the first ones I wanted to ask you, the casting choice.
The casting.
Yeah,
Now,
I wanted your opinion on it.
Before I get into it, there will be spoiler alerts. So if you haven't watched it, don't listen to this episode, but still subscribe to the channel and come back after you've watched it.
Especially because I'll just blurt out things that I've seen during the process. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not holding back or anything, but yeah.
So casting, you want to talk about?
I want to talk about casting, yeah.
So the obvious is that James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano's real life son, played Tony Jr. in the movie.
Which I really liked. It was good.
I thought he did a very good job, considering he's not someone who's played in a whole lot of stuff before.
Yeah.
I thought he did very well. There was a lot of little mannerisms that Tony does that he did well.
Oh, he's spot on, yeah.
The eye twitch, the whole reaction to after he was eating, when his mum was giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
I thought he was a standout.
Yeah.
The guy who played Silvio Dante, which is Tony's right-hand man with the big wig in the show, he was played by John Magare. He stands out for the wrong reasons. I think he was so over the top. It was a bit like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
Just with, Silvio's got a very flamboyant guy, but it was just so over the top in this that it just didn't sit right. Billy Magnuson, who played Paulie Walnuts with the wings.
Yeah.
I thought he did a very good job. But to me, the big standout was Vera Farmiga, who played Livia Soprano, Tony's mum.
Yeah.
She did everything.
She was really good.
Really, really good. And John Berthnell, who plays Johnny Soprano, Tony's dad, did a very good job as well. He's, it's a bit weird because I just watched The Punisher and this was the next thing I saw, so it was a bit weird. But the show is, I know we're going to go into the plot, but essentially the lead character is played by Alessandro Nivola, who plays Dickie Moltisanti, which is Chris Moltisanti's dad.
Yeah.
and Ray Liotta plays the grandfather. So I hope you got all that at home. Best to draw a family tree.
yeah. Like with Ray Liotta getting his head bashed into the steering wheel was one of my favourite scenes. So that was really good. I enjoyed that.
What did you think of Ray Liotta playing two characters? He plays obviously Hollywood, the grandfather, but he also plays his twin brother Sel.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it a problem. I thought he differentiated them enough. They had totally different personalities, but I know from memory, I can't really remember if they're like, it was weird that there was never mention of him being in prison before he died.
Yeah.
The brother died. So at least they could have just thrown in a few lines here and there, explaining about that. But yeah, it was just weird. All of a sudden he rocked up at the prison. But there's a theory on that, why that happened that way, isn't there? What was it again?
Yeah, the theory is that it never actually happened, but it was more in the mind of Diggy Moltisanti, just trying to do good in the world.
Yeah, because he felt guilty for killing his old man.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, but he killed the dad as well because he's obviously beating up his mum. Or beating up his stepmom, girlfriend,
his mistress, whatever.
Yeah. So, do you think there was a bit of that where he just wanted to be with her? That's all it was.
You see a bit of that. Yeah. But you also see in the TV show the correlation in terms of Chrissy with his dad and the grandfather. They've got this thing about beating women.
Yeah. So they're like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So expectation level. Obviously, you had a huge expectation.
Yeah, I think any Sopranos fan had a massive expectation, and no matter what David Chase did, who wrote The Sopranos,
he's
in this
like
movie,
90 years old now. Like I saw an interview on him.
He's
how old
76.
Is he? Oh, he looks like he's got a lot of miles on him. Like, when he was on Jimmy, he was on Fallon or one of them,
right?
And I'm like, God, is he that old? But I think it's 20 years old, isn't it? The series.
Yeah,
20 years old?
At least 20 years old.
Yeah.
But even during the series, when you'd see the behind the scenes, he still looked like he was 76.
He's an old looking guy. But it's strange how, he's getting back into it after this many years. At least he could have gave someone else a go. Did he direct it as well, or he just wrote it?
I think he just wrote it.
Okay. Or co-wrote it.
Or co-wrote it or something like that. Okay. It's worth mentioning also, just back on casting, a couple of others. A gentleman by the name of, where is it? Yeah. Samson M. I can't pronounce his surname. He plays Pussy Bompancero. I think he did a very good job. But it's important to note that Michael Imperioli, who plays Chrissy, actually narrated this whole movie.
Yeah.
So
that first scene was great when it was going through the cemetery and you hear his voice. I was like, that's awesome. But yeah. Okay.
Yep. Plot is what you
but expectation.
Oh, expectation.
Expectation. You didn't answer my question. You had a high expectation.
I had a high
expectation. Live
expectation.
up to the expectation for you?
At first watch, no. I've seen it 3 times. And now I really loved it. I thought it was great.
Okay.
I wasn't aware it was going to go down the path of where it did. It felt a little bit rushed, but that's why, it was a movie.
Yeah.
We were so used to The Sopranos being played out so slow and so much detail that you were never going to do that in a movie. Mm. But, I thought it lived up to expectations. After the first watch, I'm like, I don't understand this. What's going on? But after the third one, I'm like, this is really, really good.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so so plot. Do you think it ran? I mean, like you just said, against the TV series, obviously it was a slower sort of burn, but this plot to me it was a bit jumpy. I felt, but look, overall I thought it was solid. I mean, but to me, at the end when the music started playing, the theme song, that made up for it. Yeah. Just hearing that song again, and it was good.
If you haven't watched the series, you can't watch the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I reckon you would be lost. You wouldn't know what's going on. You'll find it very boring.
Yeah, and there is a theory that all of this is like Chrissy just reflecting on things when he's in hell, right?
Okay.
So, So, what he remembers through part of his later childhood, the stories he heard from people about his dad.
Okay.
And he's just trying to throw it all together. But I guess all of this centers around the 1967 riots in Newark, which I don't know much about.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I thought it was good. It was an interesting plot. But yeah, when you look at the surname Moltisanti, which actually means many saints, you kind of think, okay, well, it's all in the title. Many
Got the title, yeah. So little hidden things in the movie that normal fans wouldn't recognize. Have you got a few of those?
Yeah. There's a couple here which I thought were interesting. One of them is when Dickie kills his father in the garage and Tony walks in and sees a little bird. He then raises it at the funeral to his mum and says, oh, when you see a little bird, it means someone's died. Which then when Chrissy gets made in the TV show, he looks at the window ledge and there's a little bird looking at him. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Uncle Junior, who's played by Corey Stoll, he does the famous lines, that are reflected in the TV show, which is he never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Okay.
And a couple of others that I won't repeat because I'll get censored.
Okay.
But the big one to me was in one of the last scenes of the movie when Tony's sitting at Holsten's, the ice cream bar, waiting for Dickie. Yeah. He keeps looking at the door, like who's coming in, which is exactly the same as the last scene in the TV show where he's sitting at Holsten's again, looking at the door every time someone walks in. Which I thought was quite a big reference. Yeah. And there's a few other ones as well, which where in the movie, Johnny Soprano, which is Tony's dad, shoots a gun and he goes through Olivia's hair.
Yeah, that's funny.
Janice in the TV show refers to that story.
Okay.
Which I didn't realize until I actually watched something on YouTube that told me that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, is there a plan? Do you know if there's a planned sequel? Do you know if there's going to be another movie or is it going to be a TV show?
Yeah, so from what I've read, David Chase is already in talks with Warner Brothers.
Because I felt he needs it, especially the way the after credits scene. And so they're planning, obviously.
Yeah, and it would be crazy for him not to. And I think especially the only criticism is that it was just so rushed, that whole movie. Like it was really bouncing around and you just struggled to keep up. So it made sense that it needs a 10-part series would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. And are you looking forward to it?
Yeah,
now absolutely. That you've seen it 3 times?
Yeah, but who knows how long we'll have to wait. Yeah. That's the other side. I mean, we waited for these for so
by
many
the looks
years.
of it, David Chase is going to be 70. How old is 79 when it comes? He hasn't aged.
God, no.
Well, what is he going to be?
There's a scene in the Sopranos TV show where Paulie finds some older ladies and he goes, I remember you. When I was a kid, you were old. Now I'm an old man and you're still old.
What did you think of the Italian woman, the import? What did you think of her?
Yeah, I thought she was good.
Yeah.
She didn't add a whole lot to the movie.
Yeah, I just didn't understand. She was a good actress, but I just didn't see the need. Like, I don't know. Obviously, it was because of the whole mistress and the way he killed his dad and all that sort of thing. But, yeah. I don't know. I thought he was going to end up killing her. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, like the way it was going. But, yeah, it didn't end up happening.
There is one thing that in the movie, Chrissy says in the narration, that's my uncle, the one I went to hell for. He also says a similar line in the TV show, which is in season 5. He says to Adriana, that's my uncle, the one I'm going to hell for. So there is that correlation. Again, that is one-liners. He just like...
So he feels like he's paying for his dad's sins as well as his.
That's the way that I got that, both for Tony and for Dickie. He kind of slaved for them.
And he's going to hell for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now to finish it off, how many times did you pick up your phone during the movie? This is going to be a lot easier, I just realised, for movies, but for series, it's going to be a bit hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, how many times did you this is only the first time, not the third time you watched it, the first time, how many times did you pick up your phone?
The first time I picked it up 3 times in, 2 hours?
Okay, that's not bad.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah. Me 7 times, 6 to 7 times, I would say, purely because... there was a lot of dialogue.
Okay.
Like a lot. And sometimes when it's too much, because with me, when we watch a movie like that, it's like either late at night and, I'm tired and, you have your hot chocolate, you start to get sleepy. And when there's too much dialogue, like there's this TV show that's supposed to be a horror called Midnight Mass on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I've seen the preview.
And when the priest starts talking, my wife's knocked out, sleeping, snoring next to me, like within 5 minutes. So, for us, it's a bit different. But, I did find that I picked my phone up about 7 times, just purely that when during the dialogue. I still listen to it, but I usually play games at the same time. But, just to give you an example, I watched Dune the other day. Dune.
Okay.
Dune. I only picked my phone up once. Weird, because
it was so engaging, so focused on
visual, the visualizations of it. And look, hopefully we'll do one. I'll force you to watch that movie, and we can do one on that. But overall though, I did like it. I really liked this movie, and I would like to watch it again. I think I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I think if anyone's watching this or anyone's thinking of watching the movie, you've got to watch it at least twice to start to understand and find the correlation between characters and between a TV show.
Yeah. Well, during the movie as well, picking up my phone, I was actually trying to Google who was who.
Right. Okay.
Because there was another thing that you mentioned to me, the age gap between Silvio and Tony.
Yeah,
Soprano.
that really annoyed me because, and I could be wrong, but in the TV show, it looks like they're no more than 3 or 4 years apart.
And you said they talk about growing up together.
Yeah, that's right. In the TV show, they talk about growing up together. And then in the movie, Silvio looks like he's 20 and Tony looks like he's 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So
doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
well, there was another scene I want to bring up where we spoke about it as well, that Tony didn't look like, he looked like he was too good, too well behaved. The only thing that he did bad was what he stole that ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And that was it. But that's why I think with the sequels, obviously he's going to
watch him grow.
Change into what he is in the show.
Yeah. Which would be amazing to see. And I think that's what a lot of people expected out of this, to watch, to see how he became a mob boss as opposed to his dad. And when he was a kid.
Yeah. But I think that's the way they'll go. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
So I think this is a good format. We'll talk about a movie or a TV show that we watched, and then we'll talk about anything else.
That's it. All right. Well, I think we should leave this one go, and then we'll do another one.
That's it. Oh, all right. Well, in that case, thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And look forward to the next one, Squid Game.
Squid Game, yes.
Which is awesome. We've got a lot to talk about on Squid Game. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
See you on the next one.